Thanks, guys. So, in belly dancing, you're not really supposed to show yourself unless you're performing only. So I try and stick with that because over time I noticed that if you don't, then people end up looking at the wrong things while you're talking. Tonight has been so amazing. Oh my God. I mean, really, you know what? More importantly, I think what I've discovered tonight is that there is so serious, and I've known this, but it's just when you see it and you experience it, it's just like nothing else. And it's a collective consciousness. Like all the women that have spoken up here, I'm like, man, I know that feeling. Oh my God, I've experienced that. That's exactly what I feel. That's what I say. Oh my God. And it's just amazing, really. And I swear, if there's anything you can take out of this, I mean, these women were really laying it out, you know, heart and soul. And I can really, really relate to everybody. And actually, I feel like I have a little bit of pressure because everybody's already said everything I was going to say. So, oh boy. I actually have a really bad memory, so I tend to write things down, bullet points, etc. And I'm a dork, so I'm sorry about that. So, as you know, my name is Frederique, but I go by Fred, and I'm not even a U.S. citizen. I immigrated here with my family when I was 2 years old from Lebanon, where I was born. And French was my first language. My father's French and Syrian. My mother's Italian and Armenian. And so we're not even first-generation Americans here, but I feel very Americanized. Although at the same time at home, it wasn't American there, because when my friends would come over, they were like, this food is so weird, and like, why are you walking around in your underwear? My dad's never seen me in my underwear, and I'm like, oh. You know, it's just very different. The European culture and Middle Eastern culture is very different. It's very relaxed, and it's okay to walk around in your underwear. Anyway, so I had a French accent, all of us did, and I wasn't really accepted in school for that. They made fun of me. I hide them. Well, you can see a little bit here. But I have really big ears, and Dumbo was my nickname. And I love Dumbo, I don't care. Dumbo's cute. He's been through a lot. So I had a bad start from the beginning, you know. Everything was working against me. I have friends that just, through life, you know, it's not their fault, it's just the way it happened, and I hold it against them, but everything just kind of fell into place for them, and they were smart, and they went through school, and their parents had all this money, and they could wear the jeans that were cool in school, and all of that, and I just never had that. I had all the odds always working against me, so it felt. But actually what that did was really allow me to develop myself and who I am and accept myself at a younger age. And kind of, luckily I have this kind of rebellious attitude. And oh my God, I have a really bad memory, and I forgot the name of the amazing Micaiah, who was just speaking up here. I was like so resonated with me. She was saying that she always was with the underdogs. That was me. I was doing the same thing in school. I was getting in fights all the time, and it was never because, and I mean fights, physical punching, like bruises and like getting expelled from several schools. And it was because I just couldn't tolerate bullying. I just fucking hated it. Excuse my language, but I'm just like, you know, this poor little girl who like had floods and her socks weren't matching her pants, and I was like, and I was like, you know what? So I was always sticking up for the underdog, and to this day, I still am. I can't stand that kind of business. Like, oh, so-and-so doesn't look so cool, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let me keep moving on, because here's the thing, and I'm going to give it to you straight. I have ADD, dyslexia, and dysnomia, and it's a real bitch to live with, I tell you. Oh my God. Oh my God, you would have no idea. But anyway, so again, odds working against me. ADD, squirrel. You know, that's me. So very quickly I can get distracted. Ask anybody who knows me. So that didn't work so well for me. And I was held back in first grade, and so of course everyone made fun of me because I was the oldest one in class, and all that shit. I got expelled from several schools, and I've always been though creative. I always sang and danced, and my family just went, they never held me back or ever tried to say, don't do this, don't do that. I would get jewelry, and I would just take it apart and put it back together. Music, I used to with the stereo. I was the first one with the stereo, and I'm the youngest of three. I wanted my music. And my dad would call me down to hook up the cable box to the TV, to the VCR, to the stereo, and then add it to the receiver and adding the speakers, even 4 speakers. Before there were the, little thingamabobbers for that, surround sound, that is. Anyway, I didn't finish school. I dropped out of high school. I was like, fuck this noise. Sorry, I'm very eloquent. That's why I didn't finish school. So fuck that. Just kidding, no. Actually, I had to teach myself to be a little bit more eloquent so that people would take me seriously, read books. I didn't finish my first book till I was 19. Anyway, that's because of the dyslexia, my words, and it was just not fun to read. Loved stories, not fun to read. Creativity. I really, honestly, everything everybody said today was so on point for me. I was like, oh my God, it resonated. And I think for me, maybe something that would be good to talk about is the major struggles I've had with it. And it's not the creativity flows, but once the pressure came into play, which was like, oh my God, I'm becoming a little successful. Oh shit, what am I gonna do? People are contacting me to come to this country and teach, and that country to perform, and that country to teach. And I was like, oh my God, this is great, this is fun. And then I was like, okay, I've got to produce now, And so one of the things that I've really realized, and this has been said before, I'll say it again, there's nothing wrong with reiterating, that really, truly, not worrying about what other people think. And if you do, which does happen, we're all human, just take a step back and think about yourself, think about the things you love, and really focus on that. If it's music, if it's clothes, if it's fabric, blah, 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 who cares? It's yours. If you love it, do something with it. Don't let other people hold you back. And that's really, I think at the end of the day, what really holds you back, we say ourselves, and it is us, but it's us letting others hold us back because we're afraid of what they're going to think of us. And you just cannot care about what they think. You got to allow yourself to be vulnerable and allow yourself to be you. And if somebody doesn't like it, I tell my husband this all the time. Jason, if you're listening, somewhere out there, fuck them. If they don't like what you are doing and they have a problem with it, they can just turn around and go away. That's all I'm saying. Express yourself. Life is too short. Let it out. Have fun. It's really too short. My sister has cancer. I love her to death, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to spend that much time with her. And it's just all this stuff is bringing it to surface again and again. It's like life is too short. Live it, love it. Thank you. Thank you.